Orson Welles, a cinematic titan known for masterpieces like Citizen Kane, once gave surprising praise to a largely forgotten World War II film, Cross of Iron, 1977. Directed by the controversial but visionary Sam Peckinpah, this grim and brutally honest war movie didn't receive the acclaim it deserved upon release. Yet for Welles, it stood tall, even alongside the legendary All Quiet on the Western Front. Over time, history has started to prove him right. A master's praise for a misunderstood film. According to those familiar with the story, Welles was so taken by Cross of Iron that he reached out directly to Peckinpah after seeing it. While much of that message has been lost to time, one powerful quote survives. Cross of Iron is the best war film I had seen about the ordinary enlisted man since All Quiet on the Western Front. This was no faint compliment. Welles was not known for giving out empty praise, especially not for a film that was a commercial disappointment and divided critics at the time. With its current 71% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, Cross of Iron sits on the fringe of mainstream recognition, but Welles saw something deeper. A bleak mirror to All Quiet on the Western Front. Though set in different wars, both All Quiet on the Western Front and Cross of Iron share a commitment to deconstructing the romanticism of war. They focus not on generals or strategy, but on the broken men forced to fight in conflicts they neither chose nor understand. All Quiet on the Western Front follows Paul Baumer, a wide-eyed German youth whose idealism is crushed in the trenches of World War I. In contrast, Cross of Iron centers on Rolf Steiner, a weary, hardened veteran of the Eastern Front during World War II. Despite the age gap, both characters bear witness to the senseless suffering and exploitation of soldiers by indifferent commanders. Their common thread? A scathing rejection of blind patriotism and military hierarchy. Peckinpah's brutal vision. War without glory. Sam Peckinpah was infamous for pushing cinematic boundaries, especially when it came to violence and masculinity. Critics often accused him of glorifying bloodshed, but in Cross of Iron, those tendencies serve a greater purpose. Rather than fetishize violence, the film uses it to emphasize the grotesque absurdity of war. Peckinpah's decision to depict regular German soldiers instead of Allied forces was a bold one. This allowed him to explore the human cost of war from the losing side, without sympathizing with the Nazi cause. Steiner and his men are portrayed as tragic figures caught between moral collapse and military duty, while the Nazi officer Captain Stransky, obsessed with medals and prestige, represents the corrosive rod at the top. A message lost on its own time. Upon release in 1977, Cross of Iron was met with mixed reviews. Many critics saw it as overly grim, nihilistic, and lacking in the storytelling polish of Peckinpah's earlier work. Some dismissed it as just another gritty, macho war film. But Welles' endorsement hinted at something more, something many missed at first viewing. Peckinpah's film fits uneasily into mainstream war cinema precisely because it refuses to offer easy heroes or neat conclusions. Its raw portrayal of a doomed squad fighting for survival in a war already lost is harrowing. But that's what makes it powerful and ahead of its time. Cross of Iron's lasting legacy. It took decades, but Cross of Iron has slowly earned the recognition it deserves. Directors like Quentin Tarantino have cited it as a direct influence on films like *Inglourious Bastard*. Even Fury, David Ayer's tank war drama, echoes Cross of Iron in its tone and imagery. Yet, unlike those later entries, Peckinpah's film took greater risks. It dared to show German soldiers as victims of war without excusing their side's atrocities. It portrayed war as chaotic, cruel, and idiotic, not heroic. That kind of message remains rare, especially in American war films. Conclusion. Welles was right all along. Orson Welles saw in Cross of Iron a kindred spirit to All Quiet on the Western Front, not just in theme, but in impact. Both films strip war of its illusions and show the true toll it takes on ordinary men. Though it took years for critics and audiences to come around, history is finally catching up with Welles' judgment. Cross of Iron may never be as famous as the war epics that followed, but for those who truly watch it, not for action, but for meaning, it remains one of the most searing indictments of war ever put on screen.